There is a moment in Capturing Avatar where James Cameron, surrounded by the ghostly, unfinished renders of Pandora, stares not at a monitor, but into a middle distance only he can see. The documentary captures this, not the spectacle of the final film, but the profound, often lonely act of willing an entire world into existence. Released in 2010, this film within a film's genesis is as unique as its subject. Commissioned by Cameron himself, it was granted unprecedented access on one condition: final cut. The result is not a promotional piece, but a raw, 4-year chronicle that functions as a time capsule of cinematic ambition at its most extreme. The documentary's power lies in its temporal scale. We don't just see problems solved, we witness them being born, gestating for months or years, and evolving through cycles of failure and innovation. The performance capture stage, dubbed the volume, is initially a realm of uncertainty, actors in gray suits against a gray void, trusting a vision that won't be realized for years. Consider the production of the Danaher chase sequence. Capturing Avatar shows us not a thrilling cut, but the agonizing construction of its reality. Animators painstakingly crafting muscle simulations, lighters studying bioluminescence and deep-sea footage, and Cameron meticulously storyboarding every camera move in a virtual space that didn't physically exist. The trivia is in the granularity, the fact that plant movement algorithms were derived from studying kelp forests. This granular focus reveals the central unspoken theme: translation. Every creative impulse, an actor's gesture, a designer's sketch, had to be translated into a digital language no one had fully written yet. The documentary becomes a study in friction, the immense energy lost in moving an idea from a human mind into a collective computational reality. The human element is never overshadowed by the tech. We see the palpable strain on producer John Landau, the quiet exasperation of VFX supervisors at Weta as deadlines loom like cliffs, and the isolation of Sam Worthington and Zoe Saldana, who perform their iconic romance often in separate months, their connection mediated entirely by data. Cameron emerges not as a stereotypical visionary, but as a relentless systems architect. His leadership is depicted as a form of applied pressure, compressing time, budget, and human endurance to force a phase change in what cinema could be. The documentary subtly questions whether such world-building requires a certain benevolent tyranny. Thematically, Capturing Avatar mirrors its subject's exploration of connection. But here, the connection sought is between imagination and manifestation. The Na'vi's neural bond with Iowa finds a parallel in the filmmaker's desperate attempt to mentally interface with their own creation, to feel the world they are building as something real and tangible. There's a profound melancholy in watching artists pour years into assets that may be on screen for seconds. A modeler might spend 6 months on the bark texture of the Homa-tree, knowing most audiences will register it only subconsciously. The documentary argues that this invisible labor is the true foundation of the film's believability. The documentary's atmosphere is one of suspended anticipation. The score is minimal, often giving way to the hum of servers and the click of keyboards. This sonic space allows the weight of the endeavor to settle. We are not being sold a product, we are being shown a prolonged collective act of faith. It also serves as an accidental archive of a vanishing analog mindset colliding with the digital future. We see practical maquettes being scanned, hand-drawn concepts being digitized, and veteran crew adapting to workflows that rendered their traditional tools obsolete. It's a record of a paradigm shift in mid-stride. The analysis deepens when observing the portrayal of failure. Glitches, corrupted data, and unrealized concepts are not edited out. We see the anxiety when the first facial capture tests yield unsettling, dead-eyed results. The uncanny valley, not as a concept, but as a crisis that threatened the entire emotional core of the project. This intimacy with process reframes our viewing of Avatar itself. The floating mountains are no longer just an image. They are the solution to 1,000 technical arguments. Neytiri's gaze carries the memory of Zoe Saldana performing in a helmet covered in dots, trusting that her performance would survive its digital translation. In its conclusion, Capturing Avatar offers no triumphant premiere footage. Instead, it lingers on the emptied stages and powered-down workstations. The creators disperse, leaving behind a world that now exists independently of them. The satisfaction is quiet, earned through witnessed endurance. The documentary's final insight is about legacy. Avatar would go on to redefine box office ceilings and 3D technology, but Capturing Avatar preserves the more fragile human legacy. The cost, the doubt, the collaboration, and the sheer will required to point to an empty space and say, "There will be a world here." It stands, therefore, not merely as a making of featurette, but as essential companion media. It completes the story by documenting the act of creation itself, the often unglamorous, always arduous journey of making the impossible merely difficult, and then making it real. In showing us the wires and the worry, it makes the magic of the final film not less, but infinitely more remarkable. Thank you for watching until the end. We pour our passion into every single video essay, exploring the stories behind the movies we all love. If you stumbled upon this video by chance, there is a very high probability you might never see our channel again in your feed. So please take a moment to hit that subscribe button, leave a like, and ring the bell. We are actively growing this community of cinema lovers, and your support is what helps us make our content better and more insightful every single day. Let's explore the magic of filmmaking together. See you in the next one.